In today's video, I am going to be breaking down a couple of different plays that you could use with your team if you want to incorporate pin down basketball screens in your offense. Let's get down and let's check these out. Really quickly, what a pin down screen would be is, for example, player 4 would be setting a screen down for, in this case, player 3. So the first offensive set that I'm going to incorporate with a pin down screen is the horns offense. And we can actually do this quite simply. We can have players 4 and 5 set a screen for players 2 and 3. After they've set those screens, players 3 as well as 2 are going to be either cutting up towards the wings or they're going to be cutting down into the key. For example, if player 2's man goes over top of this screen, player 2 blue needs to cut in. Anytime your defender goes over top of a screen, you should be cutting in. Meanwhile, if player 3's man went underneath the screen, player 3 should be popping to the wing for the 3-point shot, because by going under that screen, it's giving player 3 more space to be able to shoot that shot. So in this case, player 1 could pass to player 2 for the layup or to player 3 for the 3-point shot. Now, if you're running with an older team and let's say player 1 passed to player 3, but player 3's man was on him too tight to be able to guard him, or to be able to shoot that shot, then player 4 could set this screen for player 2, and now at this time, player 2 may be open for that 3-point shot from this corner. And then again, you could also be still coaching an older team where you could just say screen for somebody, where in this case, player 4 could set a back screen for player 1. Player 1 may be open for the layup. I always like to try and tell my players to continue to screen for others if a play breaks down. This next play is a 5-out offense. And if you want to get the complete guide to the 5-out offense, you can check out the link down in the description below. But in this play, what we're going to have is player 2 and 3 setting very similar screens, and player 4 and 5 doing the exact same idea, where if their guys go underneath that screen, player 4 will pop, and if player 5 tries to go over top of the screen, instead player 5 will then cut to the basket. Very similar and very easy plays to run with pretty much any age group. However, I am more and more falling into love with the 4-out offense because there's so many more passing opportunities, especially against zones from the high post. For example, we could actually set up a play where player 1 could pass to player 5 in the high post, and at that same time, player 3 and 1 will set screens down for players 4 and 2. Once those screens are set, players 2 and 4 will then pop up, or depending on what the defender does, if he goes over top, player 4 instead could be cutting towards the basket for a nice high to low post pass. If both of these players went underneath the screens, and let's say neither of them are open, after that screen, player 1 could roll to the basket and potentially be open. Or if they had a miscommunication on on defense, player 1 could then maybe be open for an open layup as well. Now, the nice thing when it comes to these screens is if you run them too many times in a row, these defensive players are going to start cheating. Especially man-on defenders, they'll start cheating and start hedging up. Well, if your offensive player notices that the defense is cheating, playing way too high to disrupt that pass, player 1 could just quickly cut back in, slipping the screen essentially, and then getting that nice quick high to low post pass that beats so many zone defenses. You could also run a play that I like to call pin down, where on ball side, player 5 will set a pin down screen for the corner of ball side, and then player 4 can pop up and potentially be open. We're not wanting to get too close to player 1. He wants to pop up. And what we are hoping for here is a switch so that player 5 can roll to the basket for an easy layup. If player 3 helps off, this would be a kick out for a 3-point shot. Now, if we really quickly go back to the 5-out offense, we can incorporate a screen-the-screener pin-down screen. For example, player 5 could set a screen for player 2. Player 2 could use that screen, that pin-down screen, and set another screen on player 1. At this time, player 5 would then roll off of his screen and go set a screen away for player 3. Player 1 would be using this screen. player 2 would be rolling off of that screen, and player 3 would be going to the high post, where now player 1 has the opportunity for a 3-point shot, has an opportunity to pass to player 2, or an opportunity to pass to player 3 in the high post. Now, if, let's say for example, player 3 has the opportunity to get the ball into the high post, his first option should be to look at player 2, who could be around the rim. If you're trying to incorporate pin down screens, I hope that this gives you some examples, but also some plays that you may be able to run with your team. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe, make sure to go check out the complete guide to the 5-out offense down in the description below, and I'll see you guys again next time.